Good morning, sixth grade. I want to apologize for anyone that logged in yesterday at 12:30 to find out that our Zoom session had happened at noon. That was a last minute decision that Miss Yagi and I made to switch them so that people that needed to go to her study hall at 12:30 could go. I realize I did post that on Classroom, but I completely forgot to change it on the classwork homework doc. So that was completely my fault, and I apologize. I'm going to go through what we went or what we talked about during the Zoom session. It actually was pretty quick. I was just showing them what to do for the igneous rock activity and the sedimentary rock activity that I would like to have posted by Friday at 3. Given the misstep with the Zoom on my part, as long as you have it in by, Monday at 3, it's fine. I'm not going to take any points off. All right, so I started the Zoom yesterday by saying, unfortunately, you guys are getting a lot of mistakes from me, that I noticed, and I'm coming to your classroom now, I noticed that when you took the section 3.3 open note quiz on igneous rocks, that I had not posted the 3.3 lecture. I posted it, what I thought was to both sixth grade classrooms, but it must have just gone to the course 2. So I've posted the grades for the 3.3 quiz. If you did great, if you did well, and you're happy with your score, awesome. If you didn't, and you want to retake it after you watch the lecture, then I'm letting you retake it and resubmit it, and I'll see that it's a second submission on Google Form, and I will take your second score. So if you didn't do well and you want to retake it today after watching my lecture, then go ahead and do that, and I will take your second quiz as your score. So I apologize for that. I thought it had posted to both classrooms, but apparently it didn't. All right. So moving forward to the material that we covered in class, which, like I said, was very short. The sedimentary, oh, looks like you guys all turned it in. Oh no, half of you did. All right, the sedimentary, or the, hold on, let me bring up the igneous one. The igneous rock activity, we started in class prior to leaving. And I'm not sure with your class if we got through all of the rocks. I feel like most of you had a couple left to do. And so I'm giving you guys two options for this. Either, if you have your completed paper copy of this, you can just take a picture of it and upload it attach it to this assignment, and that will count. If you can't find the paper, you don't know where it is, you'll just have to redo it. It's only 6 rocks. And remember what we did, so for basalt, again, in class we had physical rock samples that you could see. Obviously here we don't, but I included an image of basalt. And so you would just come over to, let's say, a new search engine. And the first thing I want to know is what's the color of basalt. So you would just type in what is, and you can kind of tell that the color of basalt is like a dark gray from the image, but if you wanted to check, oh, they're calling it black. Basalt is usually gray to black in color. Okay, so we would come back here and you would type in gray to black in color. That's all you got to do. Texture. What is the texture of basalt rock? All right, we can come down here. I typically try to stay away from Wikipedia. I know there's some merit to it and some people have good postings, but I would tend to trust sites like geology.com. Probably has decent, reliable information. So let's look at this. Basalt is a dark-colored, fine-grained igneous rock. It is mostly formed as an extrusive rock, but can also form in small intrusive bodies. It has this composition similar to gabbro. So for our texture, remember texture is going to be fine grained or coarse grained. So this is a fine grained igneous rock that is usually formed extrusively. And remember, extrusively means that it's lava that has cooled once it reaches the surface of the earth. Typically, like we talked about in class, basalt is what forms the ocean floor. So we find a lot of basalt on the ocean floor. Um, but I assume you can also find it like on the side of a volcano. All right. So something like that. Tell me it's fine grained. If you want to include that it's extrusive or intrusive, remember the extrusive goes along with fine grained because the extrusively formed rocks cool very quickly. So they don't have time to form large grains. All right. And then we'll go back over here and see if they mention any uses. Here, uses of basalt. Basalt is widely used for a variety of purposes. It is most commonly crushed for use as an aggregate in construction projects. Crushed basalt is used for road base, concrete, and asphalt. Those are our good uses. Crushed and used for road base. What was the other thing they said? Road base, concrete, mixed into concrete, and mixed into asphalt. Mixed into concrete, mixed into asphalt. There we go. And we're done with basalt. So, like I said, if you have the paper copy of this and you want to just take a picture of that, I'm fine with it. If you don't know where that paper copy is or it's not done and it's easier just to fill it in online and submit it, just do that. There's only 6 of them. It's going to take you at most, I would think, about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to fill this thing in online. All right. That was the rock lab that I want to give you credit for from prior to our online learning. The one we're doing this week is for sedimentary rocks, which is what we've been talking about. And we're going to talk, for the sedimentary rocks, I have you guys list a few different pieces of information because that's what we look at for sedimentary rocks. So we did this one yesterday in class, sandstone. And I did the exact same thing with this that I did with the basalt. And actually here, I wonder if we can just search rocks here. Sedimentary rocks. Oh, so here's a lot of the ones we're talking about. Okay. So if I click on sandstone, there you go. And I can post the link to this geology.com site on our website, on our classroom or part of this activity. But again, you're just going to use the information from the site to fill it in. If it doesn't tell you on this site, you can Google search it and come up with another decent site. Okay? And so for sandstone, we did this example yesterday in class. It's mostly comprised, so I want to know what type of sediment forms it, because remember, sedimentary rocks are oftentimes, they're categorized in 2 ways. What type are they? Meaning, are they clastic, organic, or chemical? And then what type of grains make up a sedimentary rock? So in terms of sandstone, it's going to be comprised of a lot of sand-sized particles. We all know what sand is from either having played in a sandbox at some point in your life or having gone to the beach. They're grains you can see, but they're really small. And one of the things we read on that site is that sandstone is one of the most abundant minerals found in sandstone is quartz. Quartz that is ground up into a sand-sized particle. It's a clastic rock, which means that it's a rock that is only comprised of particles of other rock that have been cemented together. And one of the uses for sandstone is it's used as a construction material. In the lecture that I posted on 3.4, we talked about how I believe it was the White House, the exterior of the White House. The White House was built with sandstone. So it's used in constructing a lot of times buildings because it's abundant and it can be formed into blocks. Okay, so that's all we are doing today. So just to recap, if you want to retake the 3.3 Igneous Rock Quiz, check your grade on GradeLink, and I will take the second submission. And then complete these 2 virtual rock activities, which shouldn't be too difficult. and submit them to Google Classroom as your lab grade for this week. All right, I hope you guys are doing well. We will have class next Thursday, again at noon, so that those of you that need to go to study hall at 12:30 can do so. Have a great weekend, guys. I miss you, and I hope to see you guys next week online. Talk to you soon. Bye.